Welcome to Lovesick, the podcast, where we dive into health, wellness, and relationships and their impact on the world. Come be a part of the discussion. Join our community by following us on YouTube, Instagram, and listening wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Enjoy the show.
Hello, welcome back to the Lovesick podcast. It's Jada, and with me,
Dorothea.
and unfortunately, we don't have Michael today because this man is working. Suckers, like
Two jobs.
two jobs. So it's gonna be Dorothy and I today, and I'm super happy about this one today. We have Joe West and Camille Dunbar from the Bar Method Studio in Long Beach. Woo woo!
Yeah.
Welcome, ladies.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you.
So my biggest thing is, if you are following me on my Instagram, The Real Jada Ford, I cannot shut up about my journey into my health and fitness. And I literally talk about Bar Method every day. I think I literally see you guys more than I see my own mama.
Yes.
So it's
Yes.
like every day I feel like I'm there and just like chatting.
But wait, can I say
yes,
something?
please.
She really does. Because when she leaves bar and then she comes to my house sometimes, the first thing that comes out of my, let me just tell you what I did at bar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's a PR person.
Yeah.
you guys.
We love that. But you know what's interesting is that her experience is not unique. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what we have is super special. And so everyone leaves with that same kind of mentality. And we become like a really great family. And so we love to be on this
Right.
journey with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great.
She speaks highly of it every time. And I know she's going to tell me something fantastic. So she comes over and we sit and we talk about
When are
it.
you coming?
I know. They said it. She said that you were going to say that. I'll check it out.
Apparently my
say that.
PR isn't that good.
No.
She hasn't come yet. I mean,
No.
I go with like swag too. And I'm like, Bar Method just came from it. No, but before we get into like what Bar Method is, because I know a lot of, sometimes explaining it is even when I was getting into it, I'm like, I don't really know how to explain
Right.
what
So hard.
Bar Method is. It
Yeah.
really is hard, but it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know, but I feel good when I leave, and I'm starting to look real good when I like in certain clothes now. And so you tell us, what is the Bar Method?
Okay.
Okay. It's just a very niche exercise method that focuses on strength training, flexibility, range of motion, all in one class. And so I like to think of it not as, the bar, because as soon as you see a ballet bar, everyone's mind goes to, oh my God, it's
Right.
dance or whatever. And it's not for men and la la la. So I like to keep it as simple as possible, but it's like all in one mind body connecting, good for you in all the ways type of class. Set to music, and it's with fun people. So
At those things.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the thing I like about it too is that I've gone through so many workout journeys in my life, like so many.
Mhm.
And I feel like also, though, as I get older, certain workouts don't work for me the way they used to. And I don't
Sure.
just mean like physically, I just mean like mind, body, like everything,
Yes.
where mentally, where I'm like, I used to feel like I used to go in the gym and be like, okay, let's do this. I'm running on the treadmill,
Right.
doing stuff like this.
Right.
Now I look at a gym and I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so coming to your studio, it's been really nice for me because I feel, one, at home,
Mhm.
two, it's working for me
Yeah.
in a way, and I love it, and I'm seeing results. But three, I just love being there because you
Yeah.
guys make it so easy just to go and show up, and it's like the same. I see a lot of the same people on the times that we go. And it's just like, it's like a community, like a family, and
Mhm.
everybody's just,
Mhm.
no matter what workout you put us through, we still come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wanted to know, I know, start with Joe first.
Yes.
What made you, tell us a little bit about your background and why we moved on to Bar Method.
So, like the first decade of my career in my 20s, I was in the medical field. Intraoperatively, I was working with a company that provided neuromonitoring services during surgeries. So I got to sit through like spine surgeries, neck surgeries, brain, and all that. And so that was my background to start with. But I was also like you, the gym and the elliptical and the weights. And then I found the bar method in my 20s that, okay, so I technically don't need to do all that. Like I took one class, I was like, this feels good.
Mhm.
Like it got everything. And in my 20s, it was like, okay, I want the bar butt. I want my arms.
Right.
And
right.
it did that for me.
Yeah.
The cool thing is that it has grown with me now in my 40s, like for what I actually need now, which is like a complete different
Yes.
package.
Right. Strength. Right.
Yeah.
Endurance.
Yes.
All wrapped in one.
All wrapped in one.
exercise.
Yeah. And it's the different priorities, but you get all of it at one
Right.
time.
The same results.
Yeah. And I feel like personally, like because of that medical background, you know, like every couple months or so, like you would see the same patients come through, or like every year, like they're coming back for like an issue, different area of the body, but they've just become this like cyclical, you know,
Yeah.
once you're doing it, you're kind of in it. And so like, why not be preventative and like think of a way to avoid it if at all possible?
Right.
And so
And to recover from it.
Yes.
Also.
Yeah.
Like it's fantastic. We have one client who was complaining of back issues for a very long time. I think had back surgery
Mhm.
or needed to have back surgery. I can't
Yeah.
remember all her details. But she started going to physical therapy and then was finding not real results and was having trouble waking up out of bed and standing and all of those things. And so she was recommended by another client of ours. She started coming and she has no more issues. She still comes
Wow. There you go.
at least multiple times a week,
Yeah.
right? And no back issues too.
Well, you know, let's talk about, because Jada mentions this to me all the time. She goes, Mom, there's a lot of people there your age, in your
Yes.
age group. So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
People in a certain age group,
Yes.
the benefits
Right,
of
right.
the BART method.
And it's never too late to start, is what we
Mhm.
like to say. Because,
Yes.
like, there are studies, you know, people who start working out later in life,
Mhm.
you build the same amount of muscle, if not more,
Mhm.
in your later years.
Interesting.
So that's number
So
one.
that's good
Yeah.
to know.
So we do have clients in their 20s, ranging up all the way to, I would think the oldest, probably like 78.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
wide range.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming for different reasons,
Right.
but we're all doing it together, which is
Mhm.
really fun. Like,
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like the community itself, it's like it's just body wisdom, and everyone just like, that's why it feels so good. But for, you know, your age group, I would say
Right.
like some women have put themselves last forever.
Yes.
And it's that mindset that like, well, no, I have to do this before
Mhm.
me.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
And so that's number one. So we're
Mhm.
trying to shift that a little bit.
That's
like,
right. Like refocus and kind of elevate ourselves to the top
Mhm.
of the list.
Right. Which we
Um,
don't always do enough.
No,
Right.
no. We do. We understand we put everybody else's needs
Mhm.
before ours. So one of the things that I think is really great about the bar method is that our age group is understanding that strength is now super important.
Yes.
And the longevity of life is equated to strength. And so our low impact exercises are exercises that we can do every single day with minimum to no injury, which is wonderful because we used to have this game that I was a client myself before I became an owner. And I worked out religiously next to one woman who was at that time maybe about 20 years older than I was.
Mhm.
And I would ask her, how many days straight have you been here? And she'd say, oh, today is 36. Oh, today is 40. Oh, today is,
Wow.
yeah. So it was something that you could see, you could do
Mhm.
for daily routine. You wake up, you do your exercise, and you could do it on a regular basis for as long as you wanted to without worrying about
Wow.
injury.
I know. And the balance.
Yeah. Well,
Oh my
The
flexibility.
goodness.
balance is huge.
Flexibility
too.
is definitely huge.
Yes.
Especially as you
Yes.
get older.
yeah.
And then, like you said, the balance and
balance.
people, falling
Yeah.
and can't get up and those type of things. So you want to have that strength.
It's interesting, too,
Yes.
how you can see when you come day one
Mm-hmm.
and we do one of our balance exercises and you might
Okay.
be kind of wobbly and you're like, oh, wow, let me hold onto the bar, right, for support. But by day 13, you
You're
can
straight.
have, yes.
It's true though. It's
You
true.
can see your balance.
Yeah,
right?
it's
Oh,
true
wow,
because
I
I would see like people with hands off the bars when I first started. And I'm like, oh my goodness,
Right.
How people doing it? And I'd be like, and now I'm like, okay, yeah.
So true.
Yeah,
We
that's-
just love it. We love to
yeah.
see the growth.
Yes, I think
right?
that's why I've just been doing this for so long. It's
Mhm.
literally the people that you meet, and you're a part of this like amazing journey with them, and it's hard not to be
Yes.
Right.
super
Yeah.
inspired and like, oh my god, this is
Yeah.
so great.
Yeah.
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 So, Camille, how did you get connected with? How did Joe sucker you into helping? Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It was super organic too, I think, in a way. I have been a Bar Method client since 2011. I attended this is my third studio. So I lived in San Diego. I attended
Oh,
two
okay.
studios in San Diego, and then I moved to Long Beach and then found Joe's studio. Was a client for a year, 2
Yeah,
years,
like a
and
year.
half. Yeah. And then as Joe was thinking about kind of backing up and retiring, how much I love bar, I did not want to see it leave.
Right.
And I thought, okay, well, how can we make this work? And if you're willing to stay, I'm willing to step up and do a little more. And so,
Oh, that's
yeah,
nice.
we became
Yeah.
partners.
Yeah.
And what initially drew you to Bar Method and in general, like just starting to work out?
You know, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I had three young boys at the time, and I had a friend, another parent, who was attending, and she was going religiously at her 6 a.m. class. And I just thought, wow, I mean, she looked amazing, and I thought, gosh, I need something. So I dropped my kids off, and then I'd go.
Mhm.
And then it just became, like, religiously attending.
Mhm.
So, so to the point where when I moved to Long Beach, I had to say, is there a Bar Method near me? Like, how can I do this? And I went in and out. At some point you think, okay, well, I can take this to, another routine or the new, latest, hottest, greatest. And then you realize it's not. It's what is tried and true that works.
Right.
And so it brings us back. And most people always come back, don't you
Yeah.
think? Yeah.
Yeah, especially after the pandemic. Like we've seen a lot of clients, who stepped away and then they're like, okay, well, actually, this is what I've
Work.
been looking for.
Yeah. It's
And
so true.
yeah, it's
Well,
been
let's talk about cost. Like
Yeah.
what it costs for someone that really would like to come there and experience the whole Bar Method journey. And
Yeah.
then also, are there promotions? Like, do
Yeah.
you guys give
Always.
away things?
All the
So-
time.
Always.
Well, let's
All
talk
the
about
time.
that.
Yes, always have promotion.
So our audience will know, especially the
Yes.
ones in Long Beach.
Yeah. So a drop-in class is $29. It's not the most, it's pretty mid-range.
Yeah,
I would say
for
for
sure.
what's out there.
Mhm.
We do recommend our clients come 3 to 5 times a week, and that's
Mhm.
where you get the most impact.
Right.
You get the most bang for your buck. And so that's what we try to get our members to get on because, yes, you can come in like once a month. Yes, you'll get a good stretch and session, but like the real magic of Bar Method is being consistent. We
Yes.
try to push
Right.
consistency as much as we can.
Yes.
It's not like you're going all out and then you're done. It's
Right.
like we're
It takes
We're
years.
in this
time.
together.
We're
Yeah.
talking years,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
You want
right.
someone to make it a habit
Mhm.
Yes.
and make it something that they know it's good for them
Right.
and that they actually start to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, in terms of that, we have a club bar membership, which is $179 a month. And it's not also small money. It's a big chunk, but you get what you pay for, right? You're getting your mental stability, you're getting
Yes.
your strength, your cardio,
Right.
everything in one.
Right.
And I think it just comes down to your priority. Like, are you going to prioritize,
Right. You
Right.
also get very highly qualified teachers, right? Like
Yes.
the
And that's
amount of
important.
it
to
is
know.
so important.
Mhm.
The amount of training and input that our teachers put into the classes is phenomenal, and more than likely not happening at other studios.
Mhm.
Our clients are looking at, our teachers, are looking at the class lists the night before as they're creating their classes and looking at the abilities of the clients. Oh, is
Oh,
this
wow.
client
Oh,
a
that's
first
awesome.
timer?
Yes.
How many classes have these individuals taken? And based on that information, you can elevate the level of class, or you can de-escalate the level of class so that everyone is getting some kind of benefit
Right.
based on the needs. So those kinds of like details that go into and thoughtful details at that go into
Yes.
creating the class is why you come out feeling so magical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard of that before.
Neither.
You know, like
Yeah.
a place that takes the time,
Mhm.
strategically look at the list
Yes.
and say, well, let's see, she can't do this.
Right.
And let's try to do something where it will incorporate, make sure she gets something out of it versus the person that's pretty advanced.
Right.
And then we'll do something for that person. That's really, really cool.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
really is unique.
Mm.
And so we consider it like a group fitness class, but with a personal trainer.
Mm.
Our teachers know everyone by name. They come up to you and say, hey, Jada, how about we tweak this? How about you try this? And it just really gives a very personal
Right.
touch
Yeah.
to help you reach your personal goals in a group setting.
And, you know, and people won't feel like they just a number or just
Right.
you're just here.
Right.
Which is
You
in
know,
some
paying your money and
Yes.
you're just here like everybody else, but
Right.
you make it, you personalize it. Like we do care
Yeah,
about you. You know, we take time to remember who you are.
we do. We
Yes.
do.
But that's what makes it different because, like I was saying before, when I was going to
Mhm.
some of these classes, I'm like, they don't know me from anybody else,
right,
and like I'm
right.
like, no one's saying my name or like no matter how many times
Yeah.
I won't
Right.
say which gym, but I've gone
Yes.
and going to these classes, and it just felt like so you feel like a little bit isolated, and you're kind of just like, okay, let me just do it, like whatever. I'm gonna tell you one time I did this Pilates class. It wasn't here; it was when I lived in LA proper. And I remember specifically, I was my first like class or first or second class I'd ever done in Pilates before. And I remember the teacher was like, I can't keep coming over here to help you. She said this in class.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I said, okay, so
Right.
you won't be getting my money anymore.
Right.
No, but she literally told
Right.
me in class,
Yeah.
I can't keep coming over here and fixing your thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like an advanced class. Like it was just
Yeah.
literally like one of the beginning classes. It was like a 5 a.m. class too.
Right.
And she was like, so like that. And I was like, cool, well,
Yeah.
guess we're not going to that
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you though, because you said something good about the mental stability. What do you mean by that?
Like resilience, you know,
Mhm.
like life is not easy. And you think,
Right.
can I swear in this? I don't
Yes.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to be
I
yourself.
curse all the time.
Things
Yeah.
are in the shitter.
Right.
And then something else shitter happens,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's never going to end. Like, we're always so hopeful. Like this year, 2025, it's going to be like,
Yes.
no. We should know by now.
Right.
It's shitty.
Yeah.
So the only way to make a difference is to fortify yourself, your emotions, your
Yeah.
well-being, surrounding yourself with people
Right.
who build you up.
Right.
So that is what I meant by,
Yeah.
Yeah.
mental
Got it.
stability.
And in the exercises too, this is just so great about our exercises is we talk about our shake, right? Embracing the shake. So there's a point that
Mhm.
many clients come to when doing our exercises where the muscles are working to the limit and the muscles begin to shake.
Mm.
And so some people are put off by that, right?
Yeah.
But we want you to embrace the shake
Mhm.
and stay with it
Yeah.
because you can do hard things.
Right.
And taking just that very small example in a very short period of time and transferring that to life experience is that you can do hard things.
Right.
And so that's that mind-body connection that
Yeah.
we're trying to instill in people.
Right.
Sometimes I had to stare out the window though, because some of them hurt so much. They're so good though, but I'm like, okay, I can do 20
so
of these,
good.
and I'm just looking out the window like, look, there's a bird. How many more of these to do?
Oh no.
You can do hard things.
You can, and I
Yes.
mean, I get it done, but sometimes
Right.
I'm like, let me just look outside right now
Yes.
instead of. So I can
Right.
just focus on
Right.
something. I have a question though, because we don't really see, at least in the studios, see very many men. And I wanted to know, like, it is a workout that
Yes.
men can do.
Mhm.
1,000%.
Yeah. And I want you to talk about just kind of like, if I was a guy coming into class, like
Yeah.
what my experience would
How
be
to
like.
attract them.
Yeah, and how
Because
to
a lot
attract
of
the men.
may think it's just for women.
Yeah.
So we have our most popular event coming up, Bring Your Babe, in February. It's so fun.
So
it's like
fun.
the guys get to come in and get to see their ladies like show off their amazing strength.
I
But
like
then
the
they
title. Bring
Yeah.
your babe.
and it's not just your male, but your girlfriends, whoever, your
Right.
babe, come try us out. It's just a good time. So obviously, especially like for example, my husband Brian, he's known me for I don't know, like we've been together for 20 years. Yeah, it's like his mentality of like, okay, if I'm going to work out, I need to work out.
Heavy weights.
Okay.
I need to do heavy
Yeah.
weights.
Right.
I need to, and then he'll tweak his back.
Right.
And then he'll have to like stop for 2 months.
Right.
I'm like, if only there was this like PT
married
approved
to.
strengthening, flexibility, rotational exercise method that you could do.
Right.
So it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
But I feel like now we're coming a little bit closer to, okay, like back in the day, yoga was kind of like, oh no,
Right.
but men are doing yoga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
Yes.
maybe give it like another
Yeah.
5 to 10 years,
Yeah.
guys will be looking to bar because
Yeah.
it's literally, it's not just for your big, large muscles.
Right.
Mhm.
You need to have strong stabilizer muscles.
Yes.
Like, you have to protect your joints. You have to be in proper form.
Right.
So I think that is the hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for
In order to
now,
build
Bring Your
strength.
Babe, February 15th.
Yes.
So listen to this though.
Yeah.
While you have the audience now that's
Yes.
watching and that will be listening. So act like you're talking to the men
Yes.
and tell them what you would like them to know about why they should come.
Oh my goodness. So I have 3 sons and a
Mhm.
husband. So I'm surrounded by men all the time.
There you go.
Okay.
And so my sons are athletes. My husband is too, but my sons are athletes. One's professional. And so they all love the bar and have embraced the bar for the simple fact of the flexibility that. So when they're at their own trainings with their clubs and teams, they're not getting that time in which they can increase the flexibility. And we all know how important flexibility is
Yes.
to performance when you're working out.
Mhm.
And so they understand that a strong core and flexibility and balance all give them the means to do better on the field. And so we need that to kind of like get to the rest of the world. Like, so those men out there, balance, flexibility, and core strength is
Mhm.
exactly what you need and are looking for. And you don't have to get it from the big box gym
Right.
Mhm.
or from the big weights, the heavy weights.
Right.
Like you can get it from lifting lighter weights and more repetition
Mhm.
and have phenomenal results.
Tell them, Camille.
Yeah, but that's true because think about it. Some of those gyms you go to, and I get it.
Right.
People are like, I'm
Mhm.
Yeah.
200, but then
Yeah.
like the small weights that we do,
Right.
but the repetition and these little tiny moves,
Yeah.
you're like, oh my goodness, these muscles are like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
but it's like it's
Many times they
different.
have to put them down. Like they can't believe, or
Right.
they have to stop the
Yep, I've
reps
seen that.
because
Mhm.
because they're not expecting those
Right.
weights to feel that heavy after
Yep.
that many repetitions.
Right.
Yeah, because usually if you're going heavy, you might not be in the best form.
Right.
Your other muscles are compensating for that.
That's
So
right.
you're not actually working the right muscles or the ones that you think you are.
Mhm.
So we do have men that come in and take class, and they like usually recommend 2 to 3 pounds to start off. They're like
Mhm.
going for the 8.
Yep,
Yeah.
they're like,
So macho.
It's
macho.
like, this is all you have. Like, yeah,
Right,
I mean,
right.
yes,
Hey,
but
this is all you.
That's right. That's all
what-
you need.
but until they're doing those little moves, and I've seen
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
no, so there's been studies.
Yeah.
I was reading up. So 2017, there was a study done where you have a group who did just body weight push-ups.
Mhm.
Literally, your body weight is enough, and they had the same muscle intensity increase as participants who did like bench presses.
Oh wow!
in an
I love
8-week
that.
period.
Yeah.
Well,
Another study,
yeah.
there was a where it was women. I think also 8 weeks, like smaller repetitions equal like the amount that if you did like heavier, less reps.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
muscle
Yeah.
gain.
Yeah.
But I think when you think working out, you immediately picture big weights.
Right.
Or
Right.
especially guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think we have to like just start like, oh, actually, no, there's another
Right.
way.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to.
And
Well,
it seems like it's safer too.
It is safer.
You know,
It
for
is safer.
everyone, men and
Absolutely.
women,
Yeah.
versus tearing something,
Sure.
or you know,
Yeah.
you
Because
have
form so
low
so
impact, right.
yes,
Mhm.
form so often is not correct,
right.
and so lifting a smaller weights, you have the
Mhm.
ability to kind
Yeah.
of correct your form with an instructor to help you.
Which
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah,
So your instructors do a very good job of like,
they
sure you bend this
do.
knee a little bit. So you know, like when you're lifting
Right.
weights, so you don't. And the thing I love about it, everything's explained. So when you do a move, it's like we're doing this because of blah, you know, and you're
Right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
that's kind of okay, you
I
know.
love
So
that.
I like
Yeah.
I like knowing
There's that personal
Yes,
touch
why
of it.
I'm doing.
that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the purpose behind why we're
Mhm.
doing this move. We always say you don't need a machine. The body is the machine.
Isn't that
And
something?
so, yeah,
Mhm.
we just use a few props, but your body is
Mhm.
doing
Yeah.
all the hard work.
Right.
And it's
Because of the weight.
Yeah,
just your
The
body
weight,
weight.
yeah,
your
your
natural
body
body
yeah,
weight.
I mean,
Right.
the average woman weighs like 165 pounds.
Mhm.
So think of fold over. So you know fold over.
Yes.
It's a
I'm not good at that.
it's a glute exercise
Yes.
where you're standing
Yeah.
on one leg and your
Do you want
body.
to show us?
No. That's actually one I need to get better at. And so
Yeah.
I will be improving. That is on my list to upgrade some of my stuff. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
So your body is horizontal to the floor,
Mhm.
right? So literally you're putting like 160 pounds on your standing glute.
On
and
one
hamstring.
leg.
On one
Yeah.
leg.
You know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
And so that intensity for some reason doesn't translate, you
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
to like, oh, well, I'm just using my body weight. Well,
Right.
I think that's enough for
Yeah.
your muscle to
You're
make a
absolutely
difference in
right.
your
Until
strength.
you have to get down on the floor and get back up, then you realize how important those muscles are.
that true? Wow.
Because it's very true. I do have a question though, as far as like, because you guys have talked about like, I know like the strength and the building muscle, but what about the like health benefits? Like people going off of like
Mm.
blood pressure or people controlling certain things
that's
now
a
that
good
they're
one.
doing
Yeah.
these
that's a good
workouts.
So I do want to, so fascia, you guys know about, so it's like this inner benign layer. So they thought of tissue in our body, and it surrounds and supports our muscles. It goes around our organs. And now we know it's actually a very integral part of our health.
Yes.
So it supports the lymphatic system. So all our lymph flows through there.
Right.
And so if your fascia isn't moving, isn't stretching, you're not moving your lymph enough.
Right.
And that leads to eventual lots of chronic diseases and all that
Right.
stuff because everything's not moving.
Right.
So that's something I feel like people could really think about when they're, even if they don't go to the gym or whatever, just getting up and
The
stretching
movement. Yeah, it's so
makes
important.
all the difference,
Right,
right?
right.
So our lymph, the fluid, I think we have like twice as much lymph in our body than
Yeah.
our blood.
Mm.
So it's
And that's
this-
like all the toxic.
yes,
toxins
and
and
it
all that,
moves
yeah.
the
And things like that.
byproducts around, and it helps our immune system
Right.
get to the places it needs to be. But our fascia also has like, I think double the sensory receptors than our
Mhm.
eye.
Mhm.
So like it has like all this interconnectedness to yourself, and I feel like that's what bar does, because you're able to get into those moves and you're stretching and you're using everything.
Mm-hmm.
You feel like yourself after class.
Yes.
Because you
Right.
literally connected
Yeah.
physically to that, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a crazy thing to me that because I was a bio major and I minored in psychology. And I remember back in college, like, oh yeah, we don't know how the mind body works, whatever,
Right,
and how
right.
that's
But right.
Or
It's
method.
obvious, right?
it's
The
fascia.
connection.
It's
Yes.
like fascia.
Yeah.
It's like literally like when you stand taller,
Right.
you feel better and more
Right.
confident.
Right.
Literally, it's like all that.
So Joe is such a nerd. And so,
I love it though.
I mean, she's got so much information that we send each other all the time about when
Right.
we're watching and looking at things,
Right.
and we're like, "Oh my God, did you see?" So, what I loved is one of the Instagram posts that you sent to me about how our nerves are still like in our upper shoulders. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it
Yeah.
was about like in our backs and our upper backs. Our shoulders and the muscles in our backs don't have a lot of nerves still,
Mm.
but they are still capable of developing. So the more you work them out, and help me if I'm saying this correctly, the more you exercise them, the more the mind starts to connect with the muscles and the nerves start to grow and increase. So that mind-body connection is real. It's amazing how the body is still...
how your body just...
Yeah.
Your body is your temple.
Yeah,
it is.
really
You know, and
It
I do
is.
believe, I am a true believer that your body can heal.
Yes.
Yeah.
stuff.
It knows what it needs.
Yes,
You
it
just have
knows
to
what it
listen
needs.
to it.
Exactly.
Yeah, being
Yeah.
able to hear it. But exactly to Camille's point, you're literally
never knew
building
that.
neural
Yes.
pathways from your brain to specific muscles that might have been lost through the years.
Right.
You know,
Right.
due to
Oh, you can-
inactivity or
Yes.
atrophy or whatever.
You could totally feel it when you're working out. And Jada, tell me if I'm wrong, but when you first start doing the bar method
Mhm.
and you're doing some exercises, it may be a little challenging to find the muscle that you're supposed to be working.
Mhm.
And so your instructor is trying to help you find that muscle. But you realize the more classes you take, the light bulb goes off and it's like, oh,
there it is.
there it is. And it is because of the mind-body
Right.
connection
Yeah.
that you have
Wow.
made through
That's
the
powerful.
continual.
And
It is.
as an
Yeah.
instructor, it's amazing to
Yeah.
see that light bulb moment in a
Mhm.
client who you know just started but have been coming like
Yes.
consistently, and
Yeah.
they're like,
Yeah.
That's-
so true.
yeah, it's beautiful.
I one of my biggest things, because I worked a lot on set, so I would be standing a lot, but there was a lot of that work from home, one during the pandemic, but then just after the pandemic, it was just a lot of work from home.
Yeah.
So I noticed like my posture was not
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
And I was like, do I need to go to a chiropractor? This was before I got into bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I need to see a chiropractor. And then I was
Right.
getting those like brace, those brace things that you wear
Yes.
for like 20 minutes, and you're like,
My husband bought one of those during COVID.
Yeah.
Really? What is
That's
that?
what I was
One of
saying.
those weird. Yeah.
it was so weird. And it was like, it's just making me like do this.
Yes.
After I took like a certain amount, because you work those posture muscles or posterior
Yes.
muscles.
Yeah.
And it's like, all of a sudden I was like, man, I have my posture
Standing
now
up
a lot
straight.
better and standing
Yeah.
out straight. And I was like, well, I haven't even seen that thing that I once had before.
Yeah.
It was dust. I was so stupid. But it's just like, I just noticed like, okay,
Yeah.
I got posture,
Yeah.
my posture muscles.
Have you used some of our new prop, the recovery balls?
So we use the recovery balls, and that's where we're going to get into the classes, because
Oh,
I know
okay.
no two bar classes are exactly
That's
alike.
correct.
But I have used the recovery balls, and then one of your lovely clients was gracious enough to get all of our, like everybody in the one class.
Oh,
The balls.
Yes, I was
So-
in that.
Yeah, and so
class. That
I've been
was so
using it. The
fun.
recovery balls, I mean, at first, the first one in G's class, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I don't see the benefits. But then it's like when you use it and then take it down, and then you're like, wow, it really does
Yeah.
kick butt.
Isn't it something?
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you mentioned too, like a lot of sitting, and for our feet too, and we were so horrible to our feet.
We are.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so learning how to take care of our feet with our recovery balls, using them correctly. If you're sitting too long, having the recovery balls underneath you while you're sitting and just really trying to work out those muscles. But the key is learning how to use them.
Right.
So this is hilarious. So I come home and I show my husband, look at our new prop. We got these amazing recovery balls. And he's like, oh, I have those. And I'm like, oh, really? Do you know how to use them? And he's like, yeah, no, that's why I never use them.
That's why they're sitting there.
Yeah, right. So you got to come to class.
Wow.
You have to be instructed on how to
Right.
use them properly. And we have amazing classes that do that.
Do you guys accept insurance? Because I know some people may want to know if you
We
accept
would
insurance.
love to. That's something we've been
Yes,
with
we're
corporate.
working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
are absolutely working with corporate in order to do that. But
Wow.
are
'Cause that's a
figuring
big
out-
deal too.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
That's a whole nother entity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a few
with
clients actually
insurance.
use their HSA or FX.
Right.
FHA.
Because they have all
Yes.
these
Yes.
benefits.
Yes.
And, if you
Yes.
go here, they'll pay for it or
Yeah.
whatever. So, especially when you get into Medicare,
Yes.
Yeah.
and Advantage
Yeah.
and all that stuff. That's where I am.
Yes. No, it's absolutely right. It's
Right.
true.
So, but that's another
Yeah.
part of the business that should grow because you never know what they can do. And
Yeah.
especially when you can let them know that it's like for preventative
Yes.
measures, things like that, because a lot of insurance companies pay for those
Yeah.
things, especially elderly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're spot on because we've talked about offering classes for our older clients
Mhm.
that are geared specifically to some of their needs. We
Right.
address them in our general classes, but we talked about just getting up. Like if you have to get down and you want to figure out how to get back up,
Mhm.
using our instructions in order to kind of help increase their quality of life, really.
Right.
Working on their balance, working on their strength, working on their flexibility, of course. But then those important daily tasks like
Mhm.
standing on your tippy toes, on the balls of your feet, and reaching something up on the top. But giving them all those kinds of support so that they can be
Right.
functional in their own lives.
And then people are living longer
Yes.
than, back in the day.
Yeah.
And so you would think that they would pay for something like that because now it's totally different from back,
It's true.
back then.
Right.
Yeah.
And we want to
now
spend
people want to do things.
Yes, yes, exactly right. We
Right.
want to spend that time healthy,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
Not sick, not dependent on anything.
True.
It's your
but
health span.
but thriving. Yes.
Not just your lifespan, your health span.
Right.
Health span.
I like that.
I think that's
I love
No,
that.
I'm not taking
I'll
credit
start
for
using
that.
that.
It was from a book I read. So I think
Heard it from Joe.
no.
But I'm going to use it.
Yes, I love that. That's
Yeah.
great.
So let's get into a couple of different kind of bar classes because I want everybody to know that, when you walk into these classes, there's different type of bar method classes.
Yeah.
And the thing I love is that I can go for the 5 days in the week and I'm doing a different
Yes.
type of bar class.
Isn't that
Mhm.
great?
It's amazing.
I love
It's
it.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's a full package, though, we try to offer, I think.
Yes.
So with your one membership, we have 5 formats. And so we have our original bar method. We have, the 60 or 45-minute version of it, but it's literally full body and everything in one. There's a strength component one, bar strength, where
Okay.
the additional weight, more compound movements, if
Mhm.
you're looking into building a little bit more there.
I think that's probably our more advanced class.
Yeah, I would say,
Yeah,
'cause,
it's no joke.
Right.
It is no
It's
joke.
serious.
Yeah.
Although I brought a new member, well, she goes, but I brought a new member and I brought her on a Friday. And
Oh.
Stephanie was like, she must, she's either gonna hate you after this or thank you.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
I was going to
She goes-
ask about the levels,
Uh-huh.
So again, it's catered to the
Mhm.
class
Right.
specifically that day.
Right.
So the instructor's able to,
Gauge.
yeah.
But overall, I think the strength class is probably one of our most challenging classes.
Mhm.
But not that if someone is a regular exerciser and feels that they have the ability to take it,
Yeah.
we don't shy them away from taking the class. And so
Right.
we encourage them if they can to
Mhm.
try it. But we always encourage our beginners to start with our original bar method classes
Mhm.
so that they could really understand the method.
Right.
And our express classes. And those
Right.
are our 60-minute and our 45-minute classes.
Yep.
And then
And then we have bar flow.
Mhm.
So it's for those yogis looking for a little bit more strength in their routine.
Mhm.
So it's a combination of bar method and, vinyasa flows. So dynamic movements.
Mhm.
We have bar restore, one of our recent favorites. That's
Yeah.
where the recovery ball
Yes,
comes in.
yes.
So it's all about just resetting your mind and body. You
Right.
have beginning like 30 minutes probably of intense bar
Mhm.
class, and then the rest are just restorative stretches, depending on which exercises you
Right.
did previously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Me
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's
That's one of my
amazing.
Because I don't stretch a lot of those or
Yeah.
do take time to do that. So
Right.
it's kind of nice to be in class like that.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And most people don't, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Most people go to their exercise classes and do their workout. And
Right.
then when it's time for them to do their stretches, they're on to, I got to go. I'm going to use this time to go
Right.
on
Yep.
to the next thing.
Yep.
But when you take the time to actually take a class
Mhm.
where you are doing your intense workout in the beginning, and then the second part of class is really getting into the flexibility,
Right.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the class you never knew you needed to take.
Yes.
right?
Until you
Until you take it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
I sleep better
Yes.
Yeah.
like that
Yes.
night
Yeah.
after restore. I feel like it's like deeper,
Mhm.
more restorative sleep.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is
No, it's
Well, at the
super
end of
important.
near the last few minutes of the class, you wear this eye pillow and you just lay on the floor like this.
right.
And then she's like, okay, start wiggling your hands. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, I want to lay here.
And that class, by the way, is most likely always late. And that's because everyone is just like not wanting to get out of there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, is it time already?
Yeah. Some people
Yeah.
probably don't want to go home.
Yeah.
But it is that necessary pause
Right.
that none of us take,
Mhm.
right? Like in the middle of the day or in the morning, but it is that necessary pause where you need to give yourself
Yeah.
just a break
Yeah.
Yeah.
before you go on to the next thing.
And then what about stretching? I think maybe elaborate on that to let people know really how important it is to,
Well, I love
to
it when you guys
stretch.
do it in between moves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Amazing.
The
Yeah.
magic of bar method is when you're working a specific muscle group and we incorporate the eccentric stretching immediately after the muscles worked.
Mhm.
So,
Right.
yeah. So that's where you get, because that's all concentric work. Like you're
Mhm.
shortening your muscle. And then so if you're able to get to that immediately, you'll receive that benefit a little bit
Right,
more
right.
effectively.
Yeah.
Right.
And you work through the whole body in one class.
Yeah.
So, but at the end, there's also a really nice final stretch series, just to wind it down, and we come
Mhm.
together as a class.
Yeah. So the strengthening of the muscle
Mhm.
during class and then the immediate lengthening of the muscle after that
Right.
is phenomenal, right?
Yeah.
And it's building the flexibility, strengthening the muscle, and it's just a great way to get the long look lean that we try to build the bar body.
Yeah.
Mhm.
People say it's like saran wrap.
Yes,
I feel like
Wrap
like-
around.
or the zipper, right?
What's that corset, like kind of corset thing too, where you're just, yeah.
Yeah.
I also feel, and then I don't know if it's me personally or if it's meant to do that, but I do feel doing the stretches in between each move, then I'm less likely to be sore
Mhm.
after class or like the next day or whatever, because I feel like I'm getting all those stretches in right after the
Right
Yeah.
after you're working.
Well, that's
them
the
out.
importance of it, right? So
Yes.
you won't feel like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
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 We also give our clients bath salts at the end of
I
class.
didn't get that
Our
my
new
first day.
customers
I
get
didn't get
bath
it
salts.
my
Bath
first
salts?
day.
Yes,
They're
it's pretty
nice. I
awesome.
like
They do. It's in a cute little
Yes.
package too. You guys
It's
see.
true because we know
That's
that
really
that we
nice.
worked your muscles out
Yes.
to the point where you
Then
may
you
be
go back
sore.
and soak.
Yes. And so here's a nice gift for you to soak.
At least you say, here, take this. You know
You're
you
gonna
worked
need
hard
it.
today. You're
Worked
gonna
out
need
your
this
muscles,
tonight.
but I
At
want
least we're thoughtful. Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out though to your instructors though, because you have such amazing
Aren't they?
instructors.
I mean, our team,
Oh my
honestly, as a
gosh.
whole right now, I am just like, we are feeling super grateful for,
Yes.
you can
Yes.
see, you can feel the passion of what they're trying to do.
Yes.
And,
100%.
they're not just coming in because Bar Method has obviously positively impacted their lives as well. And so it's just a love,
Right.
sharing more love.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about this merch.
Yes.
oh, yay.
Yes,
yeah.
we
Let's
doesn't
talk
let me do a grab one.
let's talk about this merch.
I love it.
Let's
Let's
count
talk
right.
about
Look how
Okay.
cute you
Okay,
guys
talk
are.
about it, y'all.
So I will start.
Yes.
They make it very hard to leave without buying something.
These are nice.
You never know how many
good.
socks you need
I
or
know,
wants
I
until you're
know.
there. And then you're like, oh, these are really cute. And then they come in different type of like, depending on the holiday too. You guys have
Right.
these Bar Method holiday socks. And then I love, and thank you for the sweatshirt. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
this
I
is
will
beautiful.
be
Thank
wearing
you.
this all the time. But I wanted to say also the thing I love are the challenges. So you guys have these really cool challenges that like, I don't know how often you do them, but I know that, 1 month it was, what was it, 30 days? It was before Christmas. I can't remember this.
It was like
The
a
holiday squeeze.
Was it the holiday squeeze?
Before the Christmas?
It was,
Or-
well, it was one of the it was a bingo one. That was
Oh,
like
bingo.
my first challenge
Yes.
that I did because that's when I really started getting really into it. It gets competitive in a way to yourself, with
Yes.
yourself though, where you're like, I just marked off this bingo card and like whatever. But then the swag that you get from kicking butt, but then it's also like you get rewarded, but then also like you're rewarding yourself too, and it's like a whole thing. But I just love that you guys have these really cool like challenges and that everybody really participates. And
Yeah.
it's like really
we
cool.
have one going on too right now for our new clients.
Yeah, but we also have one coming up for the whole studio coming up in February.
Oh,
So,
that's
yes.
right.
Yeah.
We love our challenges. You know, we
fun.
all need to step it up. Some, you know, when we may feel like we've reached a plateau, but then we're always thinking of ways to kind of raise the bar.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
no, you didn't say that.
Raise the bar. So our challenges are really unique and fun, and we just try
That's
to
what we
always
want. We
be-
want
yeah.
working out to be fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to work out, really? You
I
know,
know.
Right.
like-
When you think about it that way,
Yes.
it's true. Yeah.
we want to make it fun and effective
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
make your time worth it.
Right.
know.
Yeah.
All of that.
Well, that's the
It's true.
strategy of it, because if people think they really working, they don't want to do it.
Right. they're
That's
not
true.
gonna come.
I mean, you do work in that
Yeah.
class, though.
But like you said, if you make it fun, then
Right,
it
and
doesn't
it-
seem like a
Yeah.
workout.
An
you know?
enjoyable place to come
Right.
every day.
Because
Yeah.
we're always sitting around, like we come in, because I get it. Like I think some of us even just come in earlier so that
Yes,
we
to
can
hang
chat with everybody
Yes.
and hang out. And then you're like, oh crap, class.
Yeah.
You know, we get in
Yeah.
there. But I think it's the community of it all, and I think
It
it's
is.
really cool, and I love it, and I'm gonna keep going. And
Good,
Gonna-
Jada. We're so happy to
gonna
have
get
you.
this one.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to
try
come
one,
visit us.
and and
Absolutely.
I will.
Our sweatshirts, though, are kind of like an homage to our transition that's occurring. So we are moving and relocating to a new area. These sweatshirts have our original studio date of 2011.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's
so, it's marking our beginning. And
yes.
we're celebrating that as we transition into our new space at Long Beach Exchange.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
2011. Okay.
That's a great spot too.
Yes.
People come to restaurants. People
Oh.
go to. You can be all right
Yes.
there.
You definitely would be okay
You're in a
there.
good spot. Yeah.
Because where we are now, it's like, oh, where are you guys at?
Yeah.
I've never heard of you. I've only been here for 13 years. So
It is.
we're looking forward to
Wow.
the move.
So true. Yes, the move is going to be great.
Oh my goodness.
That's
So
a beautiful location.
it is a great location. I
Yeah,
mean, they're
it's
gonna
great.
get a spot.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to just kind of add of like, to why people should be coming to Bar Method, or at least check it out or try, or just
Right.
give it like a chance, and
I will say, when you do take a first class, you are with a group of people that you probably don't know, and everybody is at a different stage of their, journey or whatever. So, I think of it as 3. It's like people starting out, just learning the basics, people who are building upon that. They know kind of what they're doing, but they're, getting the flow of things. And then the third group is like, the more, seasoned client who is there. They know what they want. They get it done. So I would say if you're new, give it a chance. Don't compare yourself to the person next to you, because that person might have been coming for 10 years.
Right.
They're like in a different spot than you.
Right.
And just really try to listen inward and like see how you feel before and after class. Because this isn't like a crazy spin class where you go in, you come out, you're all sweaty, and
Mm-hmm.
this is like a more, I'd say, intellectual type of exercise, and it's gonna cause you to be uncomfortable because
Yes.
it's not easy pausing
Right.
and like really listening. So
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
hope everyone who is curious to just give that a
Can you
thought.
tell people, one, when are you moving to the Long Beach Exchange area? And then also, how can people contact you?
So we're on Instagram at Bar Method Long Beach. We don't have a date yet for the move,
Right.
but we
Okay.
are working very hard behind the scenes.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, currently we're just down by the second PCH, but back corner
Yeah.
area.
And we're open, and
Yes.
it's a great time now
Yeah.
to come and see us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our pricing is still what it is.
Yeah.
And so it's a great time to come and
Yeah.
try us out.
Get on down to PCA.
Because when we move, we can't make any promises.
Yeah, when you move, it's gonna be in a different
Oh,
spot. Yeah,
It's a whole different
That's another
ballgame.
price range over there. Well, I just wanted to thank you, Joe and
Yeah.
Camille, for coming
Oh,
on. the
Jada,
pod.
thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Talking about Bar Method and
Yeah.
explaining it, because
Right.
I couldn't explain it the way that you did. But again, I think if anybody has any, positive New Year's resolutions or
Yes.
goals, I think if anybody wants to try something new, try Bar Method. And I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you, you'll be happy because there's people in every age range
Yes.
there.
Yes.
That's the
Especially
best
the ones
part
doing
about it.
splits.
Yeah.
I need to
Yeah.
get there. But,
I
it's
just love it.
That's the best part right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's
that,
good.
It serves us all at every
Yes.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just going to say that I really enjoy witnessing every day the commitment that our clients are giving to themselves. It brings me such joy in that I had one of our clients who was reaching her 100 class milestone last week. And I just said, you know what? I want to come and take that class with you because that is amazing that you've been able to
Right.
do that for yourself.
Yeah.
And I did. And so it was just great
Yeah.
to see that. But we celebrate all milestones. We celebrate your 5th day, your 10th day, your 20th day, because we're right there just cheering you on.
I'm almost
all
at
the way.
200.
I saw
Almost at 200. Not yet, but almost. Probably by
But
the
you
time this
know-
airs.
But the thing that I really like hearing you ladies talk about, the different age groups, because I would think that most people that's in my age bracket,
Mhm.
you wouldn't feel intimidated
Right.
by
Right.
the younger,
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
people, because it's like, oh my gosh, like when you go to some gyms, I'm not going to say all gyms,
Yes.
but when you go to some gyms, you may look at somebody that's 20 or
Yeah.
25 and be like, oh, I'm in the wrong class.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think there's that sense of, oh, I have support. I have somebody that's up there with me, So
It's true.
I think it makes a big difference.
I
does.
agree.
Yeah,
I
it makes
agree.
a big difference.
I think it sets us apart from
It
from what
does.
else is out there.
I agree.
Yes.
That we're tried and true in
Mhm.
what we offer, the variety of ages, and
Mhm.
it's
And
just
body
so great.
types.
and body
And body
types.
types
It's
too,
not
which
about-
I
That's
love too.
another one.
Yes.
Skinny,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It is not.
That's another one.
No.
No, it's about being your best self.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
That's also a good
Yeah.
plus too.
it is.
Yeah.
That's I mean,
Everybody's on their journey, so I love it. Anyway, just want to thank you, ladies.
Thank
and
you for having us. You
Check
ladies
out
were the
Bar
best.
Method Long Beach on
Yay.
Instagram. And thank you guys for tuning back in. And, we're
Tell a friend so
Tell a
they
friend.
can subscribe
and happy
and
New
tell
Year.
a friend Happy
And-
New Year.
and all
And
that
let's
fun
just say this too
Okay.
before ending.
Can't say bye.
Yeah.
No, we can say bye, but
No, we
I
can't.
honestly, I just wanted to take a minute where we could think about everything that's happening out here
Yes.
as far as the fires and the death tolls.
Right.
It's hard not to think about that.
Yeah.
It's really hard not to think about it. So
And so exercise though is a great way to kind of alleviate the stresses of the mind.
the mental
Yes.
aspect of it.
So
Yes.
yeah, when one is feeling anxious,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's been proven, tried and true, that when you
Right.
exercise and move the body, it'll help alleviate those
Mhm.
emotional anxieties that
Yeah.
you may feel.
And that's
Love
what people should know. It's
Endorphins.
not all. Yeah, it's not always about, like you said, the lift and doing this.
Right.
It's here.
Yeah.
too. It's here.
Yeah.
And today, that's what we need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Ladies, you guys are something. Thanks
Thank
for coming.
you.
Thank you
You
so
guys are the
much.
best. So
Thanks for
happy
joining
to
us.
be here.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes. Thank you for tuning in.